Starting
My
to record.
beard's
All
bald.
right. I know, it's you see yourself. All right. So this is the number two Engage Your Fan Base podcast. I'm Kara Karma with Engage Your Fan Base and Simon Says Booking, and we are joined today with Brett Wilson of Roots of Creation and Cider Mag out of not Northampton, excuse me, New Hampshire. Where exactly in New Hampshire are you out of? Where are you calling in from?
Southwestern New Hampshire, kind of near like Peterborough area.
Peterborough. Okay. So today, let me tell people that we are on air. Thank you for everybody who's joining us today, and let's tell Little Bird that we are here. So today we're going to talk about crowdfunding a album, which Roots of Creation is currently in the process of doing. And we're also going to talk about Cider Mag and PR because Brett and his wife, beautiful wife Juliana, co-own and are editors of Cider Mag, which is, well, why don't you tell us about Cider Mag a little bit first, and then we'll go into the crowdfunding.
Sure. Yeah. Cider Mag was a magazine that we were both a fan of for a long time, and Juliana was a writer for Cider Magazine, and I read it religiously every month. And we ended up having an opportunity where the owner wanted to change careers, and he ended up wanting to sell the magazine. So we kind of got the guts up to talk to him about it, and we were in Mexico at the time, and just the planets aligned, and we made it happen during our vacation, which was pretty crazy. But it's great. Juliana's really taken it over. Like, I do some sales stuff, some social media, and general business development, and finding like cool things to cover and stuff like that. But she's like really spearheaded it, like is the editor in chief, and we own it together. But it's really her baby. I wanted to kind of get it for her. Since I had my baby, which was the band, and she helped me with that, I wanted to help her, fulfill her dreams. And, she's a great journalist. So it's been a really cool journey.
All right. Well, then tell me about your baby. Well, one of your babies. You have a few babies.
Cider Mag's definitely my baby, but I can't take all the credit of how beautiful it looks and, all the great stories. Cause I write for it like once a month, and,
I meant Roots of Creation.
Yeah. But no, that's what I was saying. But yeah, Roots of Creation's definitely like my first child, we'll say. It's a passion project, a band that I formed many moons ago, and just for fun, and just kept climbing up the hill of the music industry, and just having fun with it, and slowly getting more fans and creating new music all the time, and having really fun with the journey. And it's been really great, taking us all over the country and the world.
And for people who are not familiar with Roots of Creation, what genre, that kind of thing?
We self-describe it as the reggae rock dubtronica hybrid. Some people are like,
nobody can just be like rock and roll anymore,
What's that?
Nobody's just reggae.
Everybody's like, what's that? Yeah, everybody's mixing genres. Nobody wants to call it one thing. When people don't understand that, I say it's like, it's party music, it's festival music, it's like the band. We're the band that you put in between like the headliner, which would be like maybe like at a festival, a hippie festival or whatever, like, which would be like, Mickey Hart or some of the members of the Dead or something like that. And then in between the headliner and the late night DJs is where we would fit musically, because we have some elements of EDM, but we also have good songs, and they can sing along to, and some jamming, so it just, that's really where our element is, like, as far as like sound wise. And if they don't understand that, then I say maybe, okay, well, if you don't understand that, then like it's like Sublime
That's
meets.
not hard to understand.
Okay, you got that? I'll say like
No,
Sublime.
that's actually, I think you really
Grateful
understand
Dead.
yourself.
Yeah.
I'm echoing.
Yeah. You're echoing?
Why am I echoing? Yeah.
Can you hear echo?
Yeah. Oh, not anymore. Oh,
No?
weird. Anyway, no, I think that you understand where you fit, and I think that's really important. So, no, that's great. So tell us about this Pledge ROC campaign, and that's pledgeroc.com, right? Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we partnered with Pledge Music, and it was probably the scariest thing I've ever done, just because.
Why is that? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I did a lot of research.
Becoming a father was not the scariest thing you've ever done, pledging music.
No, it wasn't. I thought it was going to be. The anticipation of both projects were of becoming a father, and doing the Pledge campaign. I guess the anticipation of doing it was the scariest thing, of actually like starting it. So like, being pregnant or whatever, and then, but actually having the child, as soon as it was born, our daughter was born, the instincts just took over. With the Pledge campaign, I did a lot of research because, we're an established band. We're not like the biggest band in the world, but we're established enough where you do not want to fail at one of these projects. You don't want to do one of these projects and then be like, damn, I failed. That would be, it would be disappointing emotionally. It'd be disappointing for the fans. It would be disappointing, and it just wouldn't be good for, the band in general, like the brand, the brand of Roots to Creation. So it's just like, basically, I read some, books. I read a book by Amanda Palmer, who had the most successful music crowdfunding campaign of all time. I think she raised like 1.2 million in her Kickstarter. So I watched her TED Talk. I read her book. I took a course by my friends from launchandrelease.com. And they really helped me guide through the process, like the building blocks. And so I really researched it because I wanted to do it right, and for the fans, and I wanted to do it right for the band, and so there's a lot of research that went into it. So then when we actually launched it, I felt comfortable because I had done the research, but it's still a lot of risks, when you're going to try to raise money and have people basically purchasing things that don't exist yet, or that partly exist but aren't manufactured yet. You have to ask for a lot of trust. It's like, as Amanda Palmer said, it's like kind of like a trust fall. It's basically a literally like a trust fall. So
it's not as, you are an established brand. They know that there's a product that they like. I mean, it's not like a band that's never played anything. Sure. That they know that they like your music. Right. I mean, you don't go into that. You don't go into a crowdfunding campaign never having put out an album. I guess. What's that? Do they really? I mean, that would be kind of. Do they do it successfully?
Well, it's a lot. The successful people at it are people that like have a network of people, either friends and family, or they were in other acts, and this is a new thing, and they, But yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's a great way to, get art made and give people a really cool experience. Like we're gonna drop a song on all the people that pledged. That nobody's ever heard before, and they'll be the first people to hear it, and we're going to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like a really important and novel way to engage. I mean, the point. I mean, the title of this blog and this podcast is engage your fan base, and the point is, my message is that it's not about marketing. It's about engaging with your fans. Totally. It's about connecting with people, and that's what you do when you're on stage. That's what music is about connection, and I think that this is a really novel way of doing
100%.
And I think that when I was reading on your website and on pledgeroc.com, that it was really speaking to that. And that seems to be your message, that it's like a let's do this together, let's build something together message, not a we need your help to make our music. It's like let's build this tribe
Right.
kind
And,
of message.
that's always, it's interesting because that's not sometimes what you think that you're supposed to do initially. Because I looked at some other videos by bands and stuff, and they were very much along the like, we're making this music, please help us, we need you, help us with this, but they weren't like emotionally connecting with their audience. And sometimes they succeeded, sometimes they failed, but like you're saying, really to do it properly, like what's in it for the audience, like, and why should they take their hard-earned dollars and support you in your campaign? What emotionally is gonna, how are they gonna connect with it, and how is it gonna be a worthwhile investment emotionally for them? So it's really all about them, and it's all about what have you done in your life and who have you connected with that you can ask for help from. And the best part about it was basically connecting with thousands of these people that have helped us. So maybe we stayed on their couch, maybe I met them backstage, maybe they bought a t-shirt, maybe we had some breakfast together, maybe whatever the small connection. Maybe they street teamed in North Carolina one time. One person, like I met their daughter opening for Slightly Stupid in Columbus, Ohio, and their daughter had an anxiety disorder, and we bonded over the internet about the fact that I have dealt with that. And so you meet all these people that you've met on the road, and then you reconnect with them. And that was really the most fulfilling experience for it. I mean, raising the money was cool and all, but to me, the best thing about it was to just either solidify that bond between artist and audience and fans, or to strengthen the bond, even more, or create new bonds with people that were kind of fans but had never really, fully, kind of bonded, like in that kind of like a personal level,
Well,
And as a fan, I want. It's really hard. There's an echo. And then you hear yourself. Anyway, the bands that I really deeply love, I want to have that connection with them because I have that connection with their music, and to be able to have this, like, I helped build that, and I helped I'm like a part of making that, it's that's a really special thing to be able to do. Not everybody can, most people can't say that ever. That's so cool. That's really
it's a really, really cool thing.
Yeah.
You're almost like a, you're not getting paid like, dividends or anything. I don't know so much about the stock market, but my dad's a financial advisor, so I know a little bit. But it's like, to me, it's almost like, you're almost buying stock in the artist in a way. You're going to get paid dividends in the music and the content that the artist creates, and the joy that you see in the artist's career taking the next level. It's like to me, it's like you're investing. You're almost buying. You're getting like stock essentially. It's a cool thing.
But from a business standpoint, you are probably making more money off of that. I mean, like, from a purely marketing standpoint, you're probably making more money off of, or getting more out of that, that $1, that I invest in your campaign, because now I'm so invested in that album succeeding, that I'm going to go to that show, and that I'm going to be so much more of an invested and engaged fan, that I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to keep being invested in your band, and that in and of itself is actually a reason to do crowdfunding.
Yeah, exactly. And like, just
because it gets a bad rap, but it's actually it's the opposite.
Yeah, I mean, basically, like in the Amanda Palmer like TED Talk, she's like, I'll paraphrase her, but she was basically like said something poignant that was like basically like how the question isn't how do we get people to pay for music, because you have your streaming, your Spotify, your Apple Music. Artists really aren't making too much more than fractions of a penny off of like the streaming off of that. Or you have your like dollar song downloads or whatever, or a $10 CD. I mean, the revenue from music at this point is basically, mostly for the artists that we work with, T-shirts and ticket sales. Like the actual music is like almost non-existent. But when her point was, why don't we try to figure out how to let people pay for music? And so people want to pay for music, but they don't necessarily want these, an MP3 file or, a plastic CD disc. They want like luxury products or innovative products or things that connect with them. Like we did like signed lyric sheets where I'm handwriting out the lyric sheets of whatever the song that the friend, fan, or family member wants, and with that they get a download. So it's much more involved and much more personal. So they're still paying for music, but it's something that they want. It's personal. It's creative. It's it's a whole different ball game.
Well, the thing of value has changed. That it's the commoditization. It's like the MP3, the actual soundbite is no longer. It doesn't have the same level of value as the things that these things that are creating these connections with the artist. It's really that connection with the artist that's creating that value.
Exactly.
Like you're saying, like that signed lyric sheet. That's really interesting. Will you send me that TED Talk when we're done? That sounds like a fascinating talk.
It really is, and I watched it towards the end of my campaign, and like it's really good. It's a really inspiring talk. It's like 15 minutes. It's totally worth watching. I'm not a total huge fan of her music. I met her at a wedding a long time ago. Cause she's from around here. She's from the Monadnock region. She was in a band called the Dresden Dolls, and they performed at one of my friends' weddings. So I met her briefly there, but like, it's just not totally my style. But like, as far as somebody who's an intelligent, human being, that's at the forefront of, a different kind of independent musical revolution, you got to pay attention to her.
Yeah. I definitely want to see that. That's cool. Let me see. I think we've covered. So you're in the middle of the campaign, and people can go to pledgeroc.com to check it out.
We're actually like really,
but I want to
really honored to have been successful at our campaign. We hit our goal, which was the initial amount to record and master and produce the album and press albums. And now at this point in time, all the dollars that we raise are going to go towards bringing the album to the world. So it's going to all go towards marketing. So they say you should spend like just as much as you make making the album on marketing. So you as a marketing person can understand that at this point we've hit our goals. Now we can make it. That's good to go. We can deliver on all of our promises in the pledge. But we have to now at this point, we're trying to take it to the next level and, maybe double our goal and actually be able to do a tour and, do some serious marketing.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome. I want to switch gears and talk about Cider Mag. Go back to Cider Mag. And because I think you have a pretty unique perspective because of being an artist and wanting to get your marketing out there and being on that other side of it and getting just a minute, Rich. Getting people asking you for their voice to be heard. So, but we've got Rich Urban wanting to to join us here. So let's see. Do you mind if he jumps in here and see what he has to say? See if he has got some questions for you real quick?
Yeah, sure. I'm just laughing at my buddy David from Powderfinger. He says, Brett tells it like it is.
Hey guys, I just wanted to say, Kara, I love what you're doing. I really appreciate it. I'm a longtime follower, and it's great. The things you guys are doing, giving the information, the advice, it is awesome, and I appreciate it. You mean a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Robots of Creation, Roots of Creation.
Yeah.
This is the first time meeting you, but I'm sure I hope to see you more in the future. Love it. Love the energy.
Where are you from, Rich?
Miami, Florida.
Nice. Nice and warm out there. We're hitting fall over here.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, the weather's awesome. Look at the sun's beautiful. We got the amazing sunny weather. We have the palm trees. Everything's amazing. I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to give you a big shout out because everything that you guys are doing is just great. Keep up the great work.
Thanks, Rick.
Thanks. Appreciate it. All right, that was nice.
You want friends or just a random blabber?
Just random. That's the cool
really
thing,
cool.
you know. People can come in and give comments and stuff. Yeah. So I just wanted to know if you had any advice for artists who might be watching, and from the PR side, you know, especially people who are trying
Something just bubbled
to
up
get
on my screen. Is that like?
Yeah, so that's people can give you love.
Oh.
Claps. They're little hands, right. You know, they're clapping. Yeah. So you got more than I do. So you got, oh, look, see, everybody likes you. Oh, no, I have to. It's the contest. Anyway, I think that might be Rich. Anyway, so do you have some suggestions or some advice for people who are trying to reach out for Cider Mag, you know, or any publications like yours, and trying to, for example, promote shows or promote their albums, that kind of thing?
So we have a number of platforms. One is a digital magazine that we're really stoked because we printed out a couple copies. It's backwards because it's through my screen, but it's.
No, it's not backwards.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's fine.
My Boys and Slightly Stupid on the cover, and you know, it's really cool to see, you know, the layout that Juliana and James have done on, like, actually printed. But it's an all digital magazine. We hope to go and start printing soon. And then we have our website, our blog, our Facebook, our Twitter, our Instagram, all that stuff, and we're working on a brand new website. So there's a number of platforms we have available, you know, for artists to reach new audiences and let people know about. We also have an email list and stuff like that. So, you know, we have a lot of different outlets to reach our audience of dedicated, you know, music lovers. Our slogan is the New Hampshire and Vermont Entertainment Authority. And so basically we cover most of New England, but we focus on New Hampshire and Vermont because there was definitely a need for that in the scene. And as far as, like, you know, advice for artists, you know, basically just being really professional. You know, Juliana, which is editor at cidermag.com, if you want to submit anything. Really likes, you know, it's to make it easy, she has to have everything in one email to be able to forward to one of her writers. So, you know, it's nice when we get stuff from publicists, you know, from like Powderfinger Promotions we work with, or I think it's MSO, you know, a bunch of different publicity firms. They'll send us stuff and it'll be really, you know, Red Boot Publicity, you know, all these people, they'll send, you know, a one sheet. It'll have all the social media links. It'll have a featured track and a featured video. It'll have some press quotes. It'll have tour dates. It'll have everything really nice and neat. And that way she can take a look at that. And within a couple of minutes after listening and learning about the artist, she can decide whether it's something that makes sense. Are they touring through the area? the only thing that we cover other than people that are from the area and are touring through the area are CD reviews, or if it's a national band, doing a story on them. But we really try to focus on the region, whether it's a local band or a regional band or a national band. They're either playing in the area or from the area. It's something that ties to the Vermont and New Hampshire scene. So it has to be relevant, first of all, unless it's a CD review and we really, really enjoy it. And we hope that you come to the region and we want to turn our readers onto it. But having all that stuff nice and neat, and then not excessively following up, in a respectful manner. That really helps.
What does that mean?
In a respectful manner, I guess just using good grammar and like being, being nice and knowing that there's a person on the other end of the spectrum. It's not a robot, and that they're busy, and that just because they're busy doesn't mean they didn't listen to it or care about you. And it's really good. Like, I would highly recommend, if you can, hiring a publicist, because they take the emotionality out of you being the artist and submitting stuff, and they put everything in a nice, neat package. They already have relationships with us. So if you can do that, great. And if you can't, then read some blogs and stuff from publicists. Like, I love Ariel Hyatt and different publicists where they'll write blogs on how to pitch stuff to magazines. And if you follow their guidelines, it makes it easier for us. Because then if you send us a press release that's like perfectly written, right? It's got the date, the ticket link, it's got a high res. That's a big thing that Juliana and James need, is high res.
Yeah, the images are so important.
Album art, the high res image. Then she's able to just take that email, forward it to one of her writers, and say, "Hey, I want you to do a story on this." And we end up using, some of the press release. We'll follow up with some questions, But sometimes for our blog, we take up the majority of the press release. We embed the SoundCloud link, and we use that as content. So it's really important to have those building blocks, when you're, submitting to a magazine or a blog or any kind of, publication.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest pet peeve.
Biggest pet peeve from artists, or in life, or what do you? What's?
No. And something that is going to make it so it's hard for you to gets in the way from a PR standpoint.
Let me just stop my office phone. Sorry.
Go ahead.
It's a new office phone, and so you can like. Oh, great! I'm now eligible to receive a personal medical emergency. Oh, this is the worst. Okay, I'm just gonna ignore it. I pressed, like, on a cell phone, you can like press the end button, to ignore the call. So it's a house phone, so I pressed the end button, which sent it to voicemail, but then I have to listen to the voicemail. It's new, so I don't know. Sorry about that.
That's all good. No, like the one thing you should not
definitely don't send me phone solicitations about medical equipment like that. But or call me about political polling. No, I mean,
I'll bet.
So
this is probably one time next year. Do not answer the phone. Probably
pet peeve. I mean, I got it. Well, sometimes a pet peeve surprises you, right? So I'll send you a pet peeve. I'll show you a pet peeve of what I got today, right? But I actually forwarded this on only because of one thing. I'll explain it, right? So this guy is from another country. I've never met him before. He sends me a private Facebook message. He doesn't tell me why he's sending me his music. So I don't know if it's because he wants me to listen to it, or because of Cider Mag, or because he wants to tour with my band. I have no idea what's going on. it's
Mhm.
extremely long. So it's like a Facebook message that should have been an email. It's like super, super long.
Mhm.
There's like a million links in it, and he lists 3 email addresses to contact him on. So I'm not sure which one he wants me to contact back. So I'll show it. I'll show you how long it is. So right. Please,
Oh my
please
God.
don't send it. Then
Oh.
which email address do I contact? It was like there's 3 email addresses. Like, but his saving grace is that he's from Cuba, and my wife is half Cuban, and so I sent it to her, and I said, "Hey, like, you know, I just got this weird Facebook message. The music might actually be good. I like Afro-Cuban music." So normally that would have been like, please don't do that. But the music, you know, was a style. I haven't listened to it. I got it like an hour ago. The music was a style that like just made total sense to send it on. Maybe not for the publication, but just for us to actually listen to it. But normally that would be like, please don't.
I get messages for the Stone Church because I booked the Stone Church, and they I got a message the other day that said, I would very much like you to book my band. I was like, well, that's nice. Like, who are you? Who's your band? Like, what am I supposed to do with that? I was like, I didn't even bother writing back. I was like, if you're that stupid, then you don't bother. I'm not going to bother. People can be kind of ridiculous. So clarity is a good thing.
Clarity's a good thing.
Clarity, and then, like, brevity, but professionalism.
Knowing when to send an email. Like a Facebook to me is like, send me like a quick message. Like, hey, Brett, would love to submit something to Cider Mag. What's the correct email address to hit you with? And then hit me with the email with a big long thing. But like a Facebook message is almost like a text message. It goes straight to my phone. It should be less formal. So it was just weird to get this really long, I don't know. Just etiquette as far as what platform you're using.
Yeah. Etiquette. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is an etiquette. All right. Well, I have taken up your half hour. I know you've got to get back to the kids. One kid, right?
Uno.
Daughter? Can't remember. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Just one? Dude, I have 4 now. Isn't that insane? I multiply too fast. I'm done. Anyway, this is awesome. Well, I have twin 4-month-olds. Yeah, and I've heard them screaming in the other room, so I think I have to go. But and my oldest are 13.
Have you had any sleep?
A little,
sleep at all, or?
Not really. But this was great. Thank you so much for all these insights. It was really very informative and a great conversation. I really appreciate your time, and I hope people will check out pledgeroc.com and cidermag.com, right?
That's all the social media platforms that you can just search Cider Mag. Yep.
Yeah. And check out engageyourfanbase.com. Also, Simon Says Booking. That's what I do publicity for, and we're a full-service booking and publicity agency out of Orange, Massachusetts. Yeah. And this has been the second Engage Your Fanbase podcast. Thank you for joining us. And I will see you next Thursday when we're going to be talking with Aaron Harp of the Delta Swingers and the Love Whip. And we're going to be talking about systems and how to use all the various different artist data and Jambase and all the different cool doodads that you can use on the internet, and how to kind of pull it all together. And I don't know, you got to have systems to make it all work if you're going to get it done. And
super important in my week link.
Yeah, well, you should watch next week. Next week, 1:00 Eastern time is the next Engage Your Fanbase podcast.
I will.
So, thank you so much for your time, and have fun tomorrow at
I will.
Stone Church.
We'll have fun.
with Congo
Congo
Sanchez.
Sanchez of Thievery
Huh?
Corporation. I've been loving your blog too. It's been great. I've been reading your pieces. So, well,
Thank you. Well, this Aaron Harp was supposed to be last week, but unfortunately there was some coffee on my laptop. So and so the blog has not been updated, but it will be there's more coming.
I'm familiar with the coffee on the laptop thing. I've helped somebody with that before.
Yeah. And thanks, Patrick Finger PR. I appreciate you coming. And thanks everybody for joining us, and have a great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.